What is up, YouTube? I am Eric and you are watching Retro Video Game Pickups. In this video we are talking about NES Boxed Collection. Now I have a ton of games that I want to show you guys, so if you like games, consoles, or product reviews, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification. With that being said, let's hop into it. Okay, so this video is something I've been thinking about wanting to do, and I just haven't done it yet. But I finally got all my NES games that are boxed, and I got them together. Now, I want to say I have probably 95% of these games that go with these boxes, and then there's just a few of those boxes that I don't actually have the games for. So I've got them all here to the side of me. And so what we're going to do is go ahead and talk about each one, maybe how I got it, and tell you about all that stuff. So with that being said, let's go ahead and check out the boxes. Okay, so this first game is Jeopardy! The 20th Anniversary Edition. And this is a really, really good copy. Now I picked this up, I believe, at a thrift store, if I remember correctly. I think it was like $3 or $4, like that's a killer deal, and so I saw this and I knew that I had to have it. Now, this Conquest of the Crystal Palace, as you can see, it still has the kind of clear plastic around it, and this one has an insane artwork for the box on it, and I believe I got this as part of a big whole lot that I got from my mother and father-in-law, so that's pretty cool. I have the game already, but I did not have the box. Next is Bayou Billy, The Adventures of Bayou Billy. This is a really good looking box. It's one of those Konami silver boxes, so when you see something like this, you know it's definitely awesome. I can't remember where I got this. It may have been in that big lot of box games that I got. Next, we've got Snake's Revenge. I've had this one for quite a long time. This was probably one of the first boxed NES games that I picked up, and so it's still in decent condition for what it is, but I definitely love the color art to that, or the cover art. Now, this is The Simpsons Bart versus the World, and honestly, this is probably one of my best condition boxes, at least that I have bought. This is really cool. This is the Revision A, and I think this one just looks very awesome. I love The Simpsons artwork. The artwork on the front and the back just looks amazing, and so that is why I have that one. Next is one of the weirdest cover arts I think I have, and that is Fester's Quest. This game was not all that great, but honestly, this is absolutely looks ridiculous, and so I knew I had to keep this one for sure. Next is a game that I bought actually locally, boxed, and that is American Gladiators. Now, I had this game. This was one of the first games I talked about on this channel, and so when I saw this game in the box, I knew I had to pick it up. I think it looks really cool, and it reminds me of the TV show back in the day. Next is one from that lot of game boxes that I got from my in-laws, and that is The Little Mermaid. It's a Capcom box as well. You can tell the Capcom boxes when you see them. This one I don't know if I even have the game. I think I have the game, but I didn't get them together, so I do have that in my collection. Next is Yoshi's Cookie. I got this in a bundle forever ago. I believe it was actually just the box, which worked out because I already had the game, so I like this one. It's a very simple artwork, but I think it's very, very cool. Next is probably the most insane find at a thrift store in my area that I've found, and that is Super Mario Bros. 3, complete in box with the challenge set sticker still on it. It was $3.93. As you can tell, I attempted to take that off, but it just didn't work out. Whoever had it, the bottom broke out, and I'm not sure if they really even used this because the top is still sealed. I wish the bottom was still sealed, but you do what you can. This was actually in the VHS section of the thrift store, and so I saw it and I was like, I had to take that double take, and so I am super happy I picked that up. And then one of my early on finds when it comes to the flea market, I found this at an indoor flea market when I really just had started the channel, when I was really picking up NES games, and so that was pretty cool to find win, lose, or draw. It's not a really great game, but I want to say I paid $5 for it boxed, so I'm happy with that. We've got more coming. We got Legacy of the Wizard. I've never actually played this game, but the box art is pretty crazy. Look at that. So that's kind of what it is. I don't know much about this game other than it is an adventure series and it's a Nintendo Entertainment System game. Okay, this is a game that I absolutely love, and I wish this box was in better condition, but that's okay. That is a shooter called Abadux. Now this is an extremely hard game, but it's also a very cool game. It's wild to think about. I've talked about this on the channel before. It's basically a shooter where you go inside a monster, which is just crazy and out of this world. It's definitely a fun one. And this box art is like perfect NES box art. It's just weird and wacky and all over. It's pretty cool. Now I picked this up from like a Craigslist pickup. And it was Skull and Crossbones. I want to say I paid like $10 for this. The dude was super shady, and I can remember meeting him to this day. But this is an NES game that is unlicensed, so technically, is it an NES game? It still works in the system, so I'm saying yes to that. And so there is that. Now, Gauntlet 2 is the next game. I got this in that lot of boxes from my in-laws. This is pretty cool. I'm a huge fan of Gauntlet. It's just one of those games that if you've never played it, you definitely need to. And so when I got this, I was definitely excited. It's in really good condition compared to some of the other games in that lot. Here is another one that was in good condition that also came along with it, and that is Dash Galaxy and the Alien Asylum. It's a weird, wacky Data East game. The cover looks cool. The artwork is pretty awesome on this, and so I'm a pretty good fan of how that looks. Next is Mylon's Secret Castle by Hudson Soft. I've never actually played this game. I own a copy of it somewhat. I own a copy, but it's completely like the cover's ripped off, and so it's just one of those cartridges that doesn't look pretty, but this box is really cool. I love the castle artwork, and so that is really cool right there. Next is Blaster Master. This is some weird and wacky cover art. It reminds me of like those creatures from Doom, those demons, and so I think this box looks really cool. It's in really good condition as well, which is something that I'm very happy about. Now they did remake this kind of with Master Blaster Zero on the Switch, so if you haven't played that game, you definitely should. Star Tropics, this is a game that is weird and wacky, and it's the kind of the Japanese programmer, kind of game designer view of America, of the West, so I think it's pretty cool. It's fun to play, and I'm pretty happy that I got this box. The artwork on this is really crazy, and it looks pretty sweet. Next is Guerrilla War. I actually don't think I've ever played this game. It looks like a game that I might enjoy. I think I own this, to be honest. I don't remember if I have the game or if I just got the box, but this looks pretty cool. I am definitely going to be adding that to my playlist, the game that I need to play. And I guess technically this next one isn't a boxed game, but I'm including it because it works with the NES. And that is the NES Cleaning Kit. Yes, it's not a game, but who really cares about that? It is a box and it looks like a game, so it fits in the system, so I'm counting it. Don't go in the comments and be like, that's not a game. I know it's not a game, but it will help you play games. So I'm not complaining there. And next is another one of those games that is absolutely kind of ridiculous to think about, and that is Bible Adventures. Now this is a Wisdom Tree game, which means it was never licensed by Nintendo. It's technically not legal, but it still works and I'm not complaining about it. This is a game that's pretty fun. I've played this on the channel and talked about it a little bit. It's got Noah's Ark, Save Baby Moses, and David and Goliath. So if you are looking for a game that's fun but kind of interesting or different, this is one you definitely should pick up. Next is Disney's Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. This is a pretty cool game. Capcom box again, you can tell definitely this is a Capcom game, and I like the picture of the Magic Kingdom castle, so that's pretty cool right there. Next is another Tinjin game, which means it's not licensed, it's illegal kind of copy technically, I guess, and that is Pac-Man. This is a ridiculous looking cover, like come on now, they couldn't come up with something better. Next is Dragon Warrior. This is a really cool game. It's fun to play, and that box art is absolutely insane. That dragon on the front with it says "Your mystical quest begins. Search out the dragon's lair." That's pretty cool to me. Next is another Capcom game, Mickey Mousecapade. This is a cool game. This is a game I want to talk about in the future at some point. I don't know when, but I do plan on talking about that. Next we have Donkey Kong Classics. Now this is like all those like arcade Donkey Kong versions, Donkey Kong Jr., Donkey Kong regular. I'm trying to see if there's any more. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the box of this really much. I like the old style of Mario and Donkey Kong Jr., so I definitely had to add that to the collection. I'm going to talk about both of these together because they're right next to each other. Castlevania 1 and 2, I gotta talk about this. Castlevania 1 looks amazing. You guys know the box art of this. Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest as well. Both of these, they stand out. When you see these boxes, you know exactly what they are. They're those Konami boxes that are silver, and they just look absolutely amazing. Next is a copy of Super Mario Bros. 2. Now, if you didn't know, this was a game that was released in Japan, and they relayered it to basically look like Mario because the Mario 2 that they made in Japan was way too hard, and us Westerners weren't smart enough for it, I guess. I mean, it's a hard game. If you've ever played Lost Levels, you know what I'm talking about. Next is Zen Intergalactic Ninja. This is a really cool box, and it's definitely beat up a little bit, but that is okay. I do have a complete copy of this, and so I'm very happy about that because this game is sort of worth a lot of money. This is one that I got kind of in two separate ways. I got the box from my in-laws, that lot, and then my wife got me the game for like my birthday or Christmas to complete that, and that's pretty awesome right there. Next is Dragon Warrior 2. This box has definitely seen better days, but the box art looks amazing, and so that's why I kept this. This looks really cool, and I think it is definitely a cool game. Next, we just have Yoshi. This is one of those boxes that just looks really cool. It's very simple. You got the boos all around, you got Goombas, you got their eggs, you got everything you could think of when it comes to Mario kind of Yoshi kind of ideas with the game. Next is Faxanadu. This is a simple cover, and I like that about it. It's nothing crazy, nothing out of this world. It's just the cover and like an emblem and the name, and then a tagline like daggers and wing boots, monsters and monsters await you. That's pretty cool. This is one of those boxes that I'm like, oh, that's really like intriguing and whatnot. Next, we have another Capcom game, Disney's DuckTales. If you ever played DuckTales, you know what I'm talking about. This is a cool game, and so I'm definitely like that is in good condition. Next is a game that is cool, but the box, it's not really in great condition. And that is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, a Tinjin game, and the graphics, yeah, you know, I don't need to say much more. Ooh, this is probably the heaviest hitter of the lot. Sesame Street 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I don't know why I have this game, but the box is like in really great condition. I don't think I've ever planned on playing this game. The screenshots on the back just look ridiculous, so I'll keep that in the collection, but I probably won't play it. Next is a game that I don't actually have. I got the box in like a lot of boxes, and that is Power Blade. Now, I wish I had this game. I want to play it, and so I'm waiting on that. But for now, I just got the box, so it looks pretty cool, honestly. Next, I'm going to talk about these two together. Yet again, some great games here. Zelda 1 and 2, Legend of Zelda, and then The Adventures of Link. I love the idea of this one has a sword, or this one has a shield, and this one has a sword. They kind of go well together. You don't want to have one without the other, honestly. And so I feel that way about these games. Pick them up if you don't have them in your NES collection. That rolls me to the next pickups, and that is Mega Man 2 and 3. Now this one, someone wrote bad across it. Maybe they didn't like it, I don't know, but I got the box and I'm happy about it. I picked both of these up from a guy that was local that I had bought a lot of games from back in like 2014 maybe 2012, but he got me these and I'm very, very happy about that. So I talked about that Super Mario Bros. 3 box that I had earlier. That was the challenge set. This is just the box itself. Doesn't have that sticker, and this is actually in much better condition than that one, so I'm very happy to keep this and add this one to the collection. And last but not least, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! Got this complete. I wish it was in better condition, but it is what it is. So that is all the NES games that I have over here, but I've got a few more I want to talk about from this shelf. Now, I don't move these around very much, so I'm going to pick them up, bring them over, and we'll talk about them. Okay, to start with, we've got Paperboy. Now, this is a sealed copy of Paperboy, and it is boxed, and so I love that. This is something that is absolutely crazy that I ended up finding, and honestly, I don't end up looking for sealed games. So when I saw this, it was on a Craigslist deal. I paid 50 bucks each, and these are worth much more than 50 bucks now. So I'm super stoked about it. This one actually has a Target sticker on it still that says $39.99, and this is amazing. Next is another sealed game, and that is Metroid. I used to actually have a box copy of Metroid, but I didn't really need to keep a box copy and a sealed copy, so I got rid of the box copy and I have got a loose one back on the shelves. But this is another one that I picked up on a Craigslist find for 50 bucks, and man, it's still sealed and I'm super duper stoked about that. And last but not least is a game that I don't talk about on the channel much because I feel like this is one of those games that people like to buy it and then they just brag about it and that's like all it is. So I really don't like that. I don't like talking about it because it is worth so much. So I just leave it on the shelf, and if you guys see it and mention it, I'll talk about it, but I'm just not out of the box talking about it. And that is a box copy of Little Samson. Now, I got this kind of over time. I got the game at first, and then later on I got the box. I got the box and the game from the same person who kind of resells in my area. He gave me a good deal for both of them, and honestly, I'm super lucky to have picked them up. So I'm not bragging when I say I have a Little Samson or a box. I'm not bringing it up. So that's why I haven't talked about this. Now, if you guys want me to talk about it and maybe tell you about the story a little bit more, comment down below, but unless you say that, I'm just not going to talk about that. So that was a ton of NES games. I've got a bunch of them boxed, as you guys just saw, and I hope this video isn't too long for you and you're still watching. But if you are still watching, comment down below and let me know what box art you like the most and what game out of all of these you like the most. Okay, so with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification. That way you know when I post more videos, which is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And one more time, thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me, and I'm going to keep making videos like this because I have so much fun. So if you or your family is going out, make sure you stay safe, wash your hands, practice social distancing with everything that's going on here, stay 6 feet away from each other and all that stuff, but make sure you and your family are safe. So with that being said, make sure you have a good day.